Hey everyone, it's Will, and in this video I want to talk about why your attitude and your mindset can change your results. It may seem gimmicky or you might be skeptical, but I've experienced this myself, and I kind of want to just share with you a quick story on this to really show you the results that this can really have on your life. So, a lot of us, we have bad attitudes towards things, or sometimes we just have average attitudes. We're not really that excited or energetic about stuff. And no doubt most of us at some point in our lives have been scolded or reprimanded or pretty much told, hey, you're not doing good at something. And this has happened a couple of times in my life. And one time it happened, it really just shocked me out of my system. So I was in this situation where I was working, and all of a sudden I thought I was doing well, but the person who oversees me told me, you're not doing well. You're not sweeping as well as you could be. This is not where it's supposed to be. You really got to, be better at your job. And that shocked you. It definitely does shock you, because whatever you're told, whether it's for your work or for your career, or sometimes it's in terms of your relationships. This happened as well. Sometimes you'll be told something that you don't even believe it's true, because by definition, if you're arrogant, for example, there's no way of telling that you're arrogant, because by definition, arrogance is thinking or believing you're better than you actually are. So there's no way of actually knowing that you're not that good. And so it can definitely shock you out of your situation. And for me, it definitely did. And I thought I was doing well, but apparently that was not the case. And, for me, I've always been the stereotypical Asian. A lot of people see me as that in certain ways. And I've done really well in school. And some certain ways I'm not stereotypical. But in terms of, being detail-oriented and hardworking, absolutely. So I was just shocked, because I was not accustomed to someone telling me that I wasn't doing a good job. So from there, I was just like, for a while, maybe a few days, a few weeks, just like a bit shocked and just, not sure what the heck was going on, because it was not normal, and I took it badly. I was kind of down on myself. I didn't know what to do. Of course, I was intimidated to the point where I was just, of course, I owned the situation and took it seriously and apologized and tried my best to focus more. But quite honestly, looking back, I was in a state of a lacking of energy. I was, worse off than before after hearing what I was told, which was that you aren't doing a good job, you were doing these things wrong. And that was not the right way of going about it. From there, I started listening to self-development tapes, audiobooks, really watching really successful people, whether it was a billionaire, a famous athlete, a top achiever, whoever. And I started really seeing how they thought. And if you think about it, for example, Michael Jordan, this guy was it wasn't just that he was a great player. The way he thinks about stuff, and there's so many other examples, it's just on a different level. It's almost alien to how many of us think, because, when they get told this stuff, they're very constructive about this. Michael Jordan, he took every bit of criticism from his coaches, and he never let it affect his ego or affect himself. In fact, he took it because he knew it would make him better. And, he would just improve upon it. He'd be like, okay, I'm going to do that. He had a very healthy, energetic approach to these things. Whereas a lot of us, because ego and biases and all this other stuff gets in the way, we get offended or we get put off, or we react by saying, that's wrong, I'm not arrogant, or that's wrong, I'm not hardworking, or that's wrong, I'm not lacking in detail. But the reality is the reality, and many of us choose for our whole lives not to face reality, and therefore we don't improve. Can you imagine if Michael Jordan or any other top basketball player ever said to a bit of feedback from someone they trusted, no, that's not true, I don't need help with that, and they didn't let their egos affect them, and that's how they improved beyond measurable belief. And so I started hearing these stories of all these people, some famous and some that you don't, about how they reacted to these situations. They would be energized, even despite taking very, sometimes a bit hurtful criticism, and they'd be like, oh my goodness, is that, I'm even more energized. I'm going to tackle these problems and weaknesses I have so that they don't, bring me back anymore. And of course, I'm going to focus on my strengths, and I'm going to keep what I'm doing, and I'm going to become the master at it. I'm going to be number one in my field at this. And that's something that's, again, a lot harder said than done. For some things, it's simple. It could just be like, oh, you never remember to clean up after you finish your shift at work. Or for some things, it could be harder. I think for YouTube, one thing is that I do think there is some truth to the fact that my videos are a bit overly long, overly boring, and there's not enough animation and interesting stuff to keep it engaged. And it's tough to actually do those things because they take work, they take effort. It's not always fun, but you have to be honest. You have to be honest with what is real and what's not. And of course, there are some weeds where it's like, okay, should you trust this person's advice? Because anything with a large amount of people, whether it's YouTube or something else, there's always going to be someone who doesn't like it and advice you shouldn't trust. So I want to conclude with an exercise that I'm going to do right after this video, and I hope that you will do after this video too, which solves those problems I just mentioned, which is you don't talk to anyone. You reach out to people who you trust their opinion, whether it's someone who's successful in the area you're interested in, whether it's public speaking or YouTube, or it's just someone who has known you for a really long time, a friend who you can reach out to, and you know that they will give you an honest, non-biased piece of feedback on yourself. And this is something that is going to be, it has to be someone that you can trust, that will actually be honest with you, because a lot of friends, they don't want to hurt your feelings. So it might have to be a best friend or a good friend, or maybe just that friend who's really honest all the time. Maybe he's not the best friend, but he's honest, and he'll tell you straight out what he likes and doesn't like about you. And that's how you discover certain things about you that you really need to iron out. And it will help you with your relationships, your dating. It's not just a certain area of your life, like your career. For example, you might find that this is true for a lot of personality types, that you are very arrogant or narcissistic, or maybe you just don't really have a certain level of politeness or courtesy with other individuals. And this is something that happens a lot for people who are, maybe it's because they just have like really bad social skills because they're never in social situations, or they're introverted. But you might find that I've seen this, where these people just don't say please and thank you. They don't really spend time with you afterwards to talk, or they're just really curt, and they don't actually know they're being rude. It's just the fact that they have really bad social skills. So these are things you can find out. So I challenge you to reach out to just one person. I was going to say 3, but that's too many people. it can be intimidating. So just one person, it'll take a quick sentence on Facebook or wherever else, and just reach out to them and say, you know, if you have a moment, could you be brutally honest and let me know what you think I can improve about myself. Am I arrogant? Am I needy? Am I too polite? Am I too passive and not assertive enough? What character flaws or things that I do that I need to improve? And please be brutally honest. And here's the big thing. Make sure you say, I will not be offended. And really back that up. Because otherwise they won't actually tell you the truth because they don't want to offend you. So that can really open up the world. And so long story short, in conclusion, learn what messes you up that you're unaware of, that you can improve by asking others. And then the second thing, of course, is attitude is really important. So having the right attitude and the wrong attitude can really change how you think about this. Because if you're energized and you take on constructive feedback the right way, you can get so much more done rather than this paralyzed state. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's what I should do, and that's what you should do. Really have that energy so that you don't just come off constructive feedback with, paralysis or feeling shell-shocked to the point where you don't actually improve, but actually go out there and improve. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped. And hit that subscribe button below for free updates when I release new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.